Hi, thanks so much for joining me. I'm Danny from the Glittered Rose. I'm on a bit of a Lavinia kick at the moment, and so I thought I'd share this tag that I've made using the brand new Versafine Clair inks, along with some mysticals from Lavinia and some Lavinia stamps and stencils. I had a lot of fun making it, so if this is of any interest, please stick around. Be sure to hit the like button. Let me know down below what you think and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I want to welcome all my new subscribers and welcome back my older subscribers. It's wonderful to have you here to it. And I'm using Versafine Clair Portobello, which is one of the new colours. And I thought this was perfect. Well, it's a mushroom and it's a mushroom colour, so I guess I'm not that clever. The good thing about the Versafine Clairs is that they build up in colour. So I'm going to stamp it again just to give it that extra um, dimension, a bit deeper of a colour. Okay, I'll just stamp this again and take it all off my Misty and I'll be back. Okay, before I take it off the Misty, I've popped in some masking paper from Lavinia. So this is fantastic. It's got a plastic sheet on the bottom, and then the paper is really thin and it's a sticky back. So when masking, it's going to make it very easy not to get that halo around the image. So I'm just stamping this onto my um, my masking paper, and then I'm going to cut it out. I just wanted to quickly show you this. So this is the bit that I've cut out, and as you can see, I've cut inside the line. That's really important because if you are on the line or just out of it, when you do your ink blending or sprays, you will get a line around, like a halo around your image, which isn't a very good look. I think I'm a little addicted to these mysticals. I think they're so beautiful, and it's such an easy way to put down a nice coat of colour. But with that mica shimmer in it, it's just, they're so magical. They really are fantastic. Oops. I thought I had the blue, but I've got a green. So I'm going to grab a blue and I'll go over that. Doesn't matter. I was planning to use that colour between the green and the blue. So this way it'll all just blend in really nicely together. So I'll go over with the blue now and do a couple of sprays, and then I'll go in with that that other colour. I'm not sure which one it is. It's called Spring Moss, so it's a bluey green. So I'm just going in and spraying. Because we've got that mask over the toadstool, that will keep it all protected. But I'll just dab it off because I don't want it to seep through. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to go in with a bit more of the sprays and spray it. These are so beautiful once they dry. I think they're a fantastic product. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to go in with my heat gun now and dry it off, and then we'll be back. I love it, I love it, I love it. I think it looks fantastic. If you guys could see the mica in person, beautiful. All right, so let's go in with the stencil now, and this stencil that I'm using is called Feather Leaf, I think. And I'm going to just go with a fairly light shade of green on the bottom, and then a light shade of blue up the top. I'm going to use pine for the bottom, and just very lightly with my stencil brush, I'm just swirling it over the stencil. I don't need it to be perfect or completely even. I just wanted to give it a little bit more texture and a bit of that look. And since we've got the mask still in it, I won't have to worry about getting it on the mushroom. I also want it to look like it's coming from behind the mushroom, so I will stencil over that mask For the blue stenciling, I'm using Blue Atoll, and I'll speed up this section so you're not sitting here watching me stencil for too long, but you get the idea. It doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, I'm using Portobello again for some mushrooms. These are just going to be sort of plain mushrooms sitting around the big mushroom. They won't be very obvious, but they'll just be enough so that, yeah, he doesn't look like he's on his own. He's in a bit of a field of mushrooms. Just grabbing another mushroom in a different size and doing the same technique. So I tend to like to stamp with lots of ink on the stamp and then stamp it again before re-inking it, just to make it look like they're in, some are closer to you and some are further in the distance. That's what a good way to add a little bit of field of depth. Okay, so now with Very Perry Versafine Clair, which is another new color. I've got a video on the new colors. I'll link it up above in case you're interested in seeing it. I go through the new colors. They're fantastic. Anyway, so back to the tag. I'm using the leaf bouquet stamp, which is this is a gorgeous sort of textural stamp. I think it adds a really fine detail, but it's just so lovely. So I'm just going in with the Very Perry and stamping that randomly. And I think that looks pretty good. Oh, maybe one in the middle as well. It's a bit hard stamping over the hole because it's got that extra hole, but I think that looks nice. Okay, so now I'm going to do some edging. So I've grabbed my Elements ink pad in dark denim and a blending brush, and I'm just going to go around the corners. I do this because not only does it add that atmospheric dramaticness to the picture, but it also brings your eye into the center. So I really love doing this. I think, you can't really tell what a tag looks like until you do your edges or your card. I think it really adds a lot to it. I love these element inks. I try to use my Pink Fresh or Altenew in the same manner, and they don't have the right properties. They don't blend over, um, what you've got down. So there's lots of layers here with the sprays and the stamping, and they blend over just so beautifully. But um, yeah, so I'm glad that I've got the Elements inks as well. I think it's a funny thing. People like my husband thinks it's crazy that I've got so many different sets of inks, and I'm like, but they all do different things. So I'm just going in further in the corners, and that looks pretty good. But this is gorgeous. Look at the mica in this corner. You can really see that mica, which I think's fantastic. It doesn't blend over that. So that's looking pretty good. I'm happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to whip off this mask now, and I'll grab out my watercolor pencils. Oh, see that mask works so well. There's no halo or border around that image. It comes right up to the edges of it. So I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, so I'm just coloring in with my Faber-Castell watercolors. You know what I've done? I was thinking that I was going to color the spots in red. They should be white. I'll grab my watercolor brush and try and brush it off. Oh dear, what was I thinking? Oh, it's not coming off properly. Oh, well, what I'm gonna do is I am going to go over it with a white Posca pen, and that should cover it up. So I'm gonna color this in with my watercolor pencils, and then I'll grab my watercolor water brush and smooth it all out. I'll do this off camera, you don't need to watch me color in. Okay, so it's all colored in and I'm happy with that. And I've decided I need to cover Mushy up again just to pop a shadow underneath him so that he looks like he's grounded. At the moment, he looks like he's floating in the middle of nowhere. So I need to set him on the ground. So this is the great thing about these masks is that you can re-stick them again. I'm going to pop the backing back on it and pop it away. So then I've got that mask ready to go next time. I don't have to cut it out again. Okay, so I'm going to use Midnight Blue and I'm just sweeping down a bit of colour just for a bit of a shadow underneath Mr. Mushy and a little bit above, and then I'll sweep downwards just to blend it in and to add that bit of shadowing. Sometimes it's a little difficult to put into words what I'm doing. In my mind, I know what I'm doing and I know why I'm doing it, but popping it into words can be a bit difficult. So I hope that you guys can follow along. Okay, that looks better. I think that it needed that shadow. I've got my white Posca paint pen now, and I'm just filling in those white dots. And good, it does cover up that whoopsie daisy. I was like, oh, I hope that works. But it's looking pretty good. Okay, so in order for this mushroom to look like a magical mushroom, I'm going to have some light emanating from the edges of it. So I'm grabbing my pan pastel in white and I am lightly going around the edges just so that it looks like it's glowing. I hope this works and I hope this makes sense. I think so far it's looking pretty good. So I'm just running the pan pastel down the edge and then flicking it outwards just to look like it's looks like a light emanating from it. And I think that looks actually really nice. It sort of really highlights that mushroom, brings it out from the background, but also does make it look a little bit magical. So I'm just going to do that all the way along. And I might do a little bit on the top of the mushroom as well, but not a lot. I don't think it needs a lot up there. Yep, that looks pretty good. I like that. This is what I love about this sort of craft. You can sit down and you can play with lots of different mediums, and there's no rules. You don't need to get everything lined up correctly like you do on a card. You sit down and you create from your imagination, and that's what I love about this. I think it just needs a little something. So I've got a magical saying from Lavinia, and I'm just randomly stamping it around the edges just for a bit more texture and detail and a bit of interest. And I like that. I'm just going in with some fairy dust now, which is just some little dots with my Posca pens, just to add a little bit more interest. I've just decided I'm going to colour in the mushroom caps just to make them a solid colour. I think that'll look a bit better. I mentioned in another video that I have a Facebook group called The Glittered Roses Modern Card Makers. It's only new. I would love if you join us. I'm hoping that we can have some international swaps and challenges and support each other and answer each other's questions. It's really lovely when you're in a hobby and you've got a community around you. So please join us. I'll pop the link in the description box below. I'm just popping on some yarn now, just to finish it off. It's a lovely green colour which matches beautifully, and we're all finished. This is it, all done. I have to say, I love it. My daughter wants to steal it. um, yeah, and that's it finished. If you liked this video, please be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and let me know what you think down below. Thanks, guys.